My name is Connie. I'm 60 years old, and I was determined to do the marathon as a celebration of my 60th birthday, and I did it in spite of the pain that I endured because I developed blisters, I have bunions, I have hammer toes, and when I was going through the marathon, there were times I thought to myself, oh God, how will I ever do it? But somehow or other I was able to finish it, and finishing it has given me this feeling that, well, if I could do that, there are certainly many other things that I could do in my life, and I look forward to doing it again many, many times, I hope.
Ms. Oscar, I'm 68 years old. And I want to say it's not just a run. It hasn't been just a run for me. It's been, a super year. This is my second marathon, but this year was super. Listening to Gary and changing my life. I've been meditating. My relations with people are very different. And physically, I feel great. I spend 20 hours a week riding an ambulance with our EMS. And this marathon was super my training this year went great until August. I was doing a lot of mileage and going along, and then I injured my hamstring, and everybody said, you're out for 6 months. But somehow or other, just being the vegetarian and the vitamins and seeing some of the people in the club, I put on orthotics. I was able to get over the hamstring and do the marathon. And for 18 miles, it was just great. And then everything hit me. About 18 miles, I got very nauseous, and the hamstring tightened up. And so I walked for 4 or 5 blocks, and I decided I'm not going to end my year at mile 18. And then I started to run again. And all the visualizations and running on the right brain, and the whole thing came in. I just kept going and going and going. I'm really very proud of the marathon, but I'm more proud of those last 8 miles than I am of anything else. I'm very strong, and emotionally, I've just calmed down. I'm not hyper, I'm relaxed, and I'm not depressed. And I've spent a lot of time in my life being depressed.
It's today.
Okay, Delores Perry, 52. I'm sorry to have to admit that, but I'll be honest on this. We ran the marathon, and it was our second marathon, and it was terrific. We trained together, and it's really great to run it as a team because when you have someone else motivating you, it really spurs you on. If someone doesn't feel like getting up in the morning, the other one does, and just pushes you on. And he's my teammate, and the marathon was great. He overcame. Hey, you tell him what injury.
Well, I overcame an injury, sprained ankle 4 days before the marathon by using magnets and acupressure, acupuncture, flotation tank. I saw a chiropractor, manipulation, electronics, you name it. I tried everything. I was going to make sure I got in. I was determined, and when I get determined to do something, nothing stops me. Ever since I became a marathon runner, there's nothing in this world that I can't do.
Running the marathon, as Gary often says, is a metaphor for change, and it's so true. What is there? Only about 200,000 people in the world that can do a marathon, and when it's just knowing that there's nothing in this world that you can't do. Once you start something, you finish it, and there's nothing unsurmountable. Your life changes. It changes the people around you just by sheer example. People wonder where you get all your energy. In the beginning, it's a little cynicism, but after that, the cynicism goes to bed, and then they just remain with their mouth open, and then they just follow suit. Just you see subtleties changing along the way. There is constant change, and running with Gary holistically is just unbelievable. No injuries. You can go partying right after the marathon. It's just phenomenal. I mean, the man is unbelievable, and he has shed his light on everyone else, and we just thank him. Thank you very much, Gary, for everything you've done to my life.
Hi, I'm Ed Lewis. I ran the marathon for the first time this year. The beginning of last year, Gary promised that I would be able to do it, and it it's worked out fine. Spiritually, the whole experience of training and participating was quite uplifting for me. And as far as my physical condition is concerned, I've never felt better. And I'm looking forward to trying to do a little better time next year.
My name is Alfonso Mazeika. I am 73 years old. This was my first marathon. My personal goal was to run all the time, no walking, and that I achieved. My time was not so very good. It was 5 hours, 39 minutes. I was placed 42nd out of 71 in my age group. What I felt during this marathon, that Gary's advice to build up your upper body was very important. I felt that my back was strong, and if that would, so to say, collapse and I need to go bent, or I would not have finished. But with encouragement, with wonderful volunteers that met at every station and offered, and I took always magma, I felt that this helped very much to keep all the way through, and crowds were wonderful. They shouted, "Gary, Null, Gary, go, Gary, go, Gary, you are doing wonderful." I finished and I felt like a little bit wobbly, but it was exhilarating experience, and I feel, and what I was happy, though next 2 days I had a hard time walking stairs, my legs were tired, but like my health was improved. I am very sensitive to cold weather. I was feeling so better. I was afraid, to get run down, catch cold, but this was very, very exhilarating for me, that I felt like as if my health improved.
Well, my name is Charlie, and this is my first marathon. I just want to say, as I was suffering from deep depression for years, and with the help of Gary, I was able to overcome the problem that I had, and well, that I could always, change the negative to the positive, and I could change my attitude. And by listening to him, and also by running, it gave me that willpower that I didn't have to go to see doctors for my depression. I could have run, and it would help me in other ways. And since I started running about 6 months ago, I don't get this depression. I was unemployed. I couldn't work, but now I'm back on my feet, and I was able to change my life all around, and I feel great now. And I look forward for my next one. I can't wait for the next one. 52 years old.
Track is up there. Big track. An enormous amount. When you train for marathon for 6 months, 9 months, that's an enormous burden upon the body. And now we're shifting down. Now we're going towards short distance training. The body's going to recover. The cells are going to recover. But your lungs are going to get stronger, because during marathon training, you breathe differently. It's deep diaphragmatic breathing. Your workouts are different because you're pacing yourself for a long distance. Now, you're going out thinking, all right, I've got to do splits. I've got to do a lot of quarters, a lot of halves. And then ultimately you'll be working up where you're doing full 100% miles straight out. It'll only take at this point 6 weeks and you'll be in racing condition. If you do it right, 6 weeks. And you'll do extremely well. But remember, it's in the hips. You've got to do fast motion, side to side, keeping more on the ball of the foot, because it's the ball of the foot and toeing off that gives your turnover and your speed. If you keep the foot too flat, you're not going to have the quick turnover. We want a more rapid turnover. And we want you leaning in more, and the arms are pumping stronger. And walking in particular, you're going to walk as fast as your arms are moving. And breathing, much more powerful breathing. When you breathe inside in an indoor meet, you feel like your lungs are on fire. That's what keeps most people from going fast inside, not their legs, their lungs. You can't breathe. So you're going to have to learn how to do a lot stronger breathing. See, the one problem is you've almost gotten in such good shape that you can run a whole marathon without breathing hard at all. I mean, you've got good quality breathing down, but it's altogether different when you start racing. Short distance racing, breathing is everything. It's half of the actual event. So you've got to be able to get air in and out quickly. Whereas it's a deeper, more controlled, more rhythmic breathing in your longer distance races. Absolutely the opposite. In fact, in the marathon, I have people, or indoors, I have people spray their throats with a chamomile lotion so that it protects their throat. And then afterwards, I have them squirt garlic around in there because of all the bacteria, because we all have a race indoors, 1 mile race, 1 mile. For a week, people will be sore throats because of all the bacteria and the dryness of the air. So we take a little lozenger, spray the throat, and then in the race, people are able to suck on a lozenger just to keep the throat lubricated. Because when you're breathing deep, it is painful indoors. So you'll be training with less oxygen. In fact, we'll be training, that's why some gym training is good, because you have less oxygen in the air. It's a drier air. And I want you to get used to training indoors. So we're going to find one gym, and we're going to work out inside in a gym 1 day a week, or 1 night a week. And generally there's not a problem. So as long as you can make it, you'll get the feeling of what it's like. You know, how you work into curves, how you bank your body in, and how you push off on the boards. And some of the times those boards are really sloped. It's a very strange feeling. And other times it's more flat and it's harder. So that's what we're going to do. Now they're at West Point, Fordham, Fairleigh Dickinson, Manhattan College. Those are the indoor meets. And we'll carpool and go to them. All right, but you're going to get fast. Faster than you've ever been in your life. You're going to surprise yourself. Some of you now who can only do a 6:10, 6:20 mile, you're easily going to be doing 5:30s, easily. There are walkers. Every walker, no matter what your age, you're going to be able to take a full minute off your best mile. 60 seconds off a mile. Remember, indoors, there's no race longer than 2 miles. So the longest you're going to race is 2 miles. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you've got a big advantage going in. You've got all your conditioning.